How do players like Federer, Sampras, and Thiem get massive kicks on their serve without losing pace, consistency, or getting tight in that second serve? In this video, I'm going to be breaking down 7 ways that you can get the most confident and best kick serves of your life. But how does a kick serve work? Well, when it comes to your serve, you can get more power or pace, speed, when you hit directly through the ball. And you can get more spin or RPM when you brush along the surface of the ball. This is because your racket strings create friction, imparting a spin on the ball, and that spin affects how the ball moves through the air. So on the kick serve, we want a ton of spin. So we get that height, that consistency, and that crazy twist that you see the pros hitting all the time. I'm going to break that down with 7 steps in this video. Step 1 is having a correct grip. You want to make sure that it is extreme enough. Anything less than a continental grip is never going to work on the kick, and to be honest, it's going to be very difficult to produce a high-level serve with anything other than a continental grip. It's important that you're using a continental grip on every single one of your serves, flat serve or kick serve, the continental grip being the hammer grip, or the grip that you get when you open your hand and you place the racket within this V that you create between your thumb and your other fingers, like so. So just like that, that's the continental grip. Now on the kick serve, you can shift your grip to be even more extreme on the continental, as that will allow us to get the correct shape in our swing when we go to hit the ball. But this change isn't for everyone. It's something I personally do. So go out there, experiment it with just moving it 1 or 2 millimeters. It's really not that much, and see if it makes a difference for you that you want to see when you're kicking your serve. Now, step number 2 is adjusting your toss for the kick serve, as it's critical on getting the proper spin every single time. Now, pros like Federer or Kyrgios have mastered being able to hit different serves from the same toss. Now, this is really good for masking your intentions when you serve, getting that edge off of your opponent. But for most players, this is pretty unreasonable. It's very difficult to accomplish unless you put thousands of hours into practicing it. We're going to be tossing slightly differently because there's a lot to adjust when it comes to our body and our weight when it comes to the kick serve. So we're going to adjust our toss in 3 ways. Now, the first adjustment we're going to make is tossing the ball slightly left. This adjustment is going to help us a lot with just getting that kick more naturally in our movements. A word of warning though, don't toss too far left. A lot of players are already tossing quite far left on their flat serve. So if you try to toss even further left on your kick serve, you're going to be doing some weird bending with your back and legs. It's just not going to work. So instead, make sure that you're tossing correctly on your flat serve and then adjust it from there. Your flat serve toss should be over your right shoulder. The second adjustment we're going to be making is making sure we contact it lower. This is going to allow us more room to brush along the ball instead of just dunking it down on a flat serve. And then the third adjustment that we're going to be making is we're going to be tossing a little bit closer to ourselves, or shallowing the depth of our toss. This is super helpful for anyone learning the kick serve for the first time. If you're not super comfortable with it, it's just going to make everything way easier. As you are more comfortable and increase your familiarity with the kick serve and its movements, then you can begin to toss the ball slightly more forwards as you normally would, like most pros and high-level players do. Now, because this is different from our normal serve, if you have any shoulder or back conditions or injuries, you may want to take it easy when learning the kick serve, because these are the body parts that can hurt the most when trying to learn or master the kick serve. If you're not able to hit a kick serve because of these conditions, then learning a topspin slice serve is a great way to get a consistent, high-quality second serve. And Djokovic and Nadal are pretty famous for using these very consistently, so you're in good company. Now, step 3 is having optimal body rotation. When players are tossing on the kick serve, they're doing something equally important with their body. They are rotating their shoulders away or perpendicular to the net. You'll see this on all the big second serves. Players' shoulders and hips will coil away from the net. Just because this is a second serve doesn't mean that we're not going to get proper body rotation like we do on a normal first serve. This doesn't mean you have to turn away from the net like McEnroe. Players like Rafter are able to get massive kick on their serve, even if they're not turning their body too far away from the net. These players are able to do this because of the position between their hips and shoulders. There's quite a massive difference. But that requires a lot more flexibility and strength, and it's going to burn you out if you do it over hours. To begin, we want to be turning both the hips and the shoulders when we are kicking our serve. If you're learning the kick serve, I would highly recommend starting out with the back toe roughly aligned with your front heel, or simply getting both feet parallel if you're using a pinpoint stance. As you toss the ball, focus on pulling your hitting elbow away. This will naturally turn your shoulders and hips. Now the toss is in the air and it's reaching its highest point. We are beginning to get our racket drop as we go up to swing at the serve. But before we get into the upper body movements, we need to talk about the legs, the leg drive. Now, the importance of having leg drive isn't exclusive to the kick serve, but it's probably the most important to have on a kick serve. As pro players toss, they begin bending their knees while putting most of their weight on the balls of their feet. As players push through the ground, their hips and upper spine extend upwards, orienting the entire body up. As they do this, they're going to be shifting their weight forward into this front leg. So as they push off, they're going to begin to tilt with the rest of their upper body. Now, when you're driving with your legs, you want to be driving with both of them, but a lot of people neglect the back leg. Players often consider their front leg more because it is the one carrying all the weight. But your back leg is equally, if not more important, in getting the leg drive as you push up. Step 5 is making sure we have the correct body position at contact. Visualize the exact position of your hips and upper body on contact. Like the toss, there are going to be adjustments that we are going to make to this body position from the flat serve to the kick serve. The first and probably the most widely known is that we're going to stay more closed with our body. Our chests are going to be pointing more to the side fence on contact. Instead of forcing this close position, focus on your non-hitting arm. On flat serves, your non-hitting arm drops to your abdomen or your stomach. On your kick serve, however, your tossing arm should stay a little bit more extended and out to your side. If someone saw your kick serve from behind, they'd still see your non-hitting hand at contact. This is like a balancing action using your non-hitting hand to make sure that you stay more side on. The second adjustment is as we're driving with our legs, we want our chest to be pointing a little bit more skyward as we are driving through the serve. And the third adjustment is that we're going to see a little bit more lean as we coil up into our kick serve. This happens naturally when you stay close, but is still needed to make the contact out into the court. The adjustment you make is leaning your upper body forward. All right, now this is the moment we've been waiting for. Step number 6 is to throw the racket edge. Whether you're looking at Sampras, Rafter, or Thiem, all of these players get massive kick through a smooth acceleration and upward release of their racket. What lets them hit those slow, spinny serves that high-level players are going to absolutely destroy is that they're able to generate a lot of upwards racket head speed. Now, a lot of players try to learn this by isolating the wrist and arm to get that upwards momentum. Now, this can help you visualize and learn the movements with your forearm and wrist. You shouldn't think that this is the only place that racket head speed or the power that you're going to generate comes from. These muscles are simply not strong enough to be able to generate the kind of power we need in a kick serve. Just like the flat serve, the key to getting enough power on your kick serve is the rotation of your shoulder. It should feel like a slice serve where you throw your racket edge to the side of the ball, but this time we're going to be throwing that racket edge more in an upwards trajectory. So to make the difference really clear, on a flat serve, we hit the ball like so. On a slice serve, we are hitting it more on this side. And then on the kick serve, we are hitting it more upwards. Now, this is the thing about a kick serve. All of it is based on the fundamentals of a normal flat serve. An elite kick server will also have an elite flat serve. If you need to master the fundamentals of the serve in an easy and digestible way, I've created a full 1 hour plus course on everything you need to know about the serve, from the toss to the stance and everything in between. Because the kick serve is built upon a foundation of serve knowledge that not everyone will have. So you need to master the serve, the flat serve, and be very confident with it before you can start moving on to the slice or kick serves. Now you can watch that course for free using the top link of the description. Join the community there, and in the classroom, you'll see the full serve formula. So make sure you understand the fundamentals before moving on to these advanced techniques. Now, the 7th step is to make sure that we are releasing our racket up. Research shows that we want to be contacting the ball from 730 to 130 to impart the most kick possible. These same studies show that the kick serve is actually made of more side spin than top spin. It's this small amount of top spin that allows the crazy twist that you see on a kick serve. This is why you might accidentally hit some slice serves when learning how to kick. So if you got that feeling, don't worry, you're not too far off. And when it comes to subtle differences, another one that we want to be thinking about is tilting our racket slightly left as we hit the kick. This is going to allow you to automatically brush the ball more upwards as you're at the top of your serve. Another difference is that on the kick serve, our wrist is going to be more neutral. As you can see here, my wrist is more neutral, and look, my racket is pointing out to the side more. Whereas on a flat serve, you can see my wrist is more cocked. It's more active in its involvement in holding up my racket. And that's how you hit a flat serve, is your wrist is very active as you allow the strings to open up onto the ball because you're hitting it flat. And when we're striking the kick serve, we're going to be slightly on top of the ball instead of behind or under it. Now, when you're learning the kick serve, it's going to feel like you're contacting all the way around the ball. You're brushing up from the side all the way to the top. If you film yourself though, you'll see that you're actually not doing that. You're only getting just slightly on top. Don't worry. This is just how it feels. Our body is very sensitive to that difference of contact because you've hit so many serves flat. Once you get a tiny bit of spin there, your body feels like, oh my God, I'm brushing all the way around the ball when you're not actually. So if you film yourself and you see that you're only getting a little bit on the top, that's fine. That's a good thing because if you were to hit the ball hard, it's going to instantly move off the strings. So you're not going to have time to move around the ball. So that small amount of contact on top of the ball is exactly what we want on the kick serve. Now, step number 8, and this is a bonus step, is to make sure you're getting feedback from a coach while you're learning your kick serve. This is going to accelerate your improvement by so much. If you don't have access to a coach or you want free feedback on your kick serve, join that Skool community. That's exactly what it's used for. You can send a video of your kick serve in there, and I, a certified coach, will be able to give you that feedback that you need. I've worked with hundreds of students, both in person and online, and I've transformed so many serves, and I can do the same for you. So just join that Skool community, and I'll see you in the next video.